Oh boy. There we go.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
How is everyone?
Doing pretty good. What about you?
Good. It's nice and sunny today. Summertime. People are barbecuing on the street. So it's a good Sunday.
Nice. Awesome. It's our bittersweet last weekly sync.
Yeah.
Which I always feel like it's exciting because we get to see the all the work that y'all have done and reflect on it. But also sad because we don't have any more weekly syncs. And y'all are fun to hang out with. Yeah. Cool. Do we want to jump into it? Is that crazy? Yeah. I'm just super excited to see the app.
I'm excited. I think it looks really dope. I actually used mine today. I just went to the grocery store. So
oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like, this is great actually. Usually it's just a notes app or a crumpled up piece of paper. So this is perfect.
Awesome.
So I'm going to introduce us to the app. Pardon me, I'm so sorry. Let's see. Make sure I have everything open all nice and share my screen. Okay, so this is our app.
Whoa, nice.
I know, I'm excited. I know we've talked about the actual code and everything, but I'll look at the CSS a little bit. We did a mix of, I think when it was getting to the end, we were doing more just last minute changes, but we started with a strong styling with styled components. And so the app itself, the app.js page, which is the welcoming page, has a nice little bit of CSS down here that's attached to the render, of course. We used Flex a lot, I think, throughout this whole thing because we wanted it to be responsive, of course. And then everything's pretty centered and symmetrical, which is really lovely. We also agreed on the curved buttons we love. So the border radius, 15 pixels is everywhere. We also wanted to make sure that it was accessible and clear. Steph did a lot of research, and in our Miro board, she put a bunch of different resources into, fonts and colors and different accessibility links. And we wanted to do simple color palette. We had white before, but Steph found that antique white is better because it's not as aggressive. And then we used contrasting blues as well as accessible approved, maybe that's not the right way to say it, but fonts, right? So we did the regular sans serif font that's given, and then we use Baskerville. And so, so you can type in here, works just as before, but I'm going to create a new list. We'll chat. I got a chat. Oh, cool. Thank you, Mike. I was like, what does it say? All right. So we're going to join a new list. And right now it goes to this, right? Like as it was. And I'm actually going to talk about the modal, which I put in after we had met. And it was a found modal. So I'm not responsible for creating this particularly, but I did style it to fit because when I threw it on there, it was just wild, right? So I did all the styling. So I'll take credit for that. But so up here, and I think that we discussed adding more info and then I did not. So for now, it just pops up and it has the same style guide. And you'll see this when we talk about the colors in the list. But my writing isn't very good, so it might not be super clear. We might want to do some refactoring with like how it is explained. But we figured this might be helpful if you forget, like, what does it actually mean? So yeah, so this was cool. Oops. I didn't do it, but it was actually less like when I was reading through what it actually does, it wasn't as long as I anticipated because it looks like, I don't know, it just feels like magic. But yeah, so it's a really simple rendering, right? It's basically just like this box created and then a little bit of animation, which I'd never used Spring before, but very cool. And then it just like opens and closes it. And again, it's not my code, so I'm not pro at it, but I made it look nice, I think. The styling's up here. I just made it, yeah, pretty simple styling that was from the welcome. And so I just kind of went off that to do on there and then played with the responsiveness, which I think it's pretty responsive. It might not be perfect when I look at it now. Let's see. Yeah, so I use on this, so it's not perfect, but I think it's okay. And that is that. And I'm going to pass it to Jess, if that's all right. And I will stop sharing. Sure. Yeah, thank you so much. And if you have any questions about that particularly, ask away. Use Spring. I don't know. Actually, I think it's just like it's a React Spring. It's an NPM, and so, or it's a library, you could say. So I haven't done anything else with it, and I didn't do a very good job of figuring out what it was. Really, I was just like, "That's beautiful," so I threw it in there. But now I know it exists. I think it's a very cool. It just gives that tiny little bounce when the modal opens, so a little smoother. And yeah, so now that I know this library is in my own internal library and I can do it more. So I apologize, I don't have more information about that.
So I have a question that anyone from the group can answer related to styling. Last week, you were using kind of straight CSS and it seemed like that was the path you decided. And then midweek, you started asking about styled components. So I just want to kind of get an idea of what prompted some further exploration and what kind of decision-making process you went through to decide what to use ultimately.
I think the reason, I think I just like to use them. And when our first mob session, I was driving, and so I was like, if you guys are okay with it, I like it because I like the idea of it all being on one page. I like being able to go to the render and then be like, oh, this is the name of that, and scroll up. But with that said, we do have CSS pages and a mix of inline styling. So I don't know if that's best practice to do all of it, but we just also wanted to get a touch for everything. I think that's why. But I think I know that I like to do them, and so that was a big factor too. We didn't have like a discussion of like this is good. We did ask if they were accessible,
yes,
and it seems that like they're totally fine when it comes to that. So we did learn something's not accessible, which are what did we learn?
The modal.
Okay, yeah. So we were like, it wasn't a necessary, but yeah. So I hope that answers. I just wanted to.
Well, yeah, like half of the group knew what style components are and half of the group didn't. And Hans was like super comfortable with it. So she was like, I'll just show you what it is, because we had even never seen it even before. So it was like a new experience.
Yeah, we were like, oh, well, yeah, we want to know how to work with these. And then she started working with them. Like, oh, that's awesome. Like, let's keep going.
And there's, I really like Zenzi's question there, because that is a question you may encounter on interviews. Is like, tell me about a time when you've had to evaluate a library to bring into a product. And how did you go about doing that? And a lot of times interviewers are looking for your ability to evaluate trade-offs. And like one trade-off, like one positive thing is if they're easy to work with and the team found them really easy to work with. And then you may want to think about like, what are some negative aspects of them? Style components, it's tough. They do have like small performance things, but it's you now have an example to use in interviews. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's it's nice to hear it articulated the correct way. So thank you. That's great.
Cool. I'm going to share my screen. Let's see. All right. So I'm going to show you the list page. So we decided as a group to basically have one color, but then have like a gradient. So the ones at the top with the dark color are the ones that you should buy soon. And then all the way down to like cinnamon and crackers are things that take longer. So like 14 to 30 days away. We changed our delete button to the trash can button, but it still has an ARIA label that says it's the delete button so that the screen readers can still tell what it is. And we still have the ARIA label that says when you should buy the next item based on the same thing the colors are based on. Let's see, for this page, let's see, on a sec. For item list. We mostly use style components. Well, actually, no, for this page, we used a lot of inline styling because we already had inline styling for the colors and for that function. So that maybe later we can make it style components, but because we had already had so much banked on that, we just left it the way it was and added in the new styling, like the flex styling and things like that. And then also the nav bar I'll talk about. It was styled using flex. So when you mouse over, hover over any of the items, they highlight blue. And then this was also styled using flex. And I believe this was also, hold on. Oh yeah, so this was also style components with a couple inline styles, but mostly style components. Did I forget anything else? Let's see. Oh, that's it. That's the items page, and then I'm going to pass the add item page over to Cole, unless anyone has any questions.
Just one. I am not an accessibility expert by far, but I'm very curious about if anyone researched color palettes and whether there was enough contrast between all the pinks to be discernible for a low visibility user. Was there any accessibility concerns kind of breached when you were discussing your color palette, which is beautiful, by the way?
Yeah, I think when we first started, it was a lot more subtle. And then someone brought up that we needed to make it a lot more distinct. I'm not sure if we actually put it through in the end, but we definitely went through and made it more drastic so that would be easier to tell. But awesome. I would definitely like to go through and do like an accessibility thing when it's all over. So we thought about it. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. For things like that, I was wondering too, like, what is the best way to try? Like the first thing that I thought just now is like, would we put it in? I mean, I know like color blindness comes in all kinds, right? And so it's like, what's the best way? This is a good Google. Maybe I'm just processing this question. It's like, would we want to do it in like a gradient? Or would we want to do it in different? I don't know. I guess it's like, how would we check that?
Isn't that part of Lighthouse reporting? Mike, have you ever worked with Lighthouse at all?
Yeah, I have, and they do have an accessibility section of it. I'm not super familiar with like how much it goes into the color contrast, and I'm not sure how much an automated tool would be able to do, because like I think it's oftentimes looking at color contrast, is this readable, right? But not like that an automated tool wouldn't know that you're using the colors in order to indicate like this one means this and this one means that. So you may get false sense of confidence from an automated tool.
What if we took the colors and did it for like the text check? Like just did like each color next to each other, like did the first and the second color to see if there's enough.
Oh.
And then like the second and the third to see if there's enough contrast. Like would that be like a...
Yeah, that's a great idea of like almost if you had like one is the background and the other one is the text font, and then is that accessible? That seems like it would be a really good check. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I really like that idea.
Yeah, that's a smart
I also
workaround.
am not an accessibility expert, but yeah.
It's a good question though. I just Googled like subreddit for web accessibility because I'm like, I bet there's one out there where people are like, show me what you got. Like, well, so that might be a good use of like crowdsourcing, maybe, to be like, hey, machines don't tell us exactly what, but people who need this, right, might be able to. So
yeah, and that's you know, in that accessibility presentation, we had talked about how like the automated tools really get roughly 30% of things, and there are companies that do audits and experts on that. But,
yeah, I think part of the choosing one color and then just like making it more intense was like, if you think about grayscale, like even if you couldn't see any color, you kind of see that it was different levels. But I don't know how that would work for color blindness though. Like,
yeah. But I think this is a nice workaround when we spoke about the messaging between using red, yellow, and green, and how would you know what was urgent versus what was okay. This is a really good idea, I think.
Yeah, I think the red, yellow, green was like, we all have this preconceived idea of what that means. And it was, I know for me, it was confusing the whole time. And it didn't go with our colors. So,
yep, had to go.
Ready?
Yep.
All right, so this is our add item form. Kind of along the same lines of the theme and the colors we have on every other page, and nice box shadow going around the back of it. It still has the ability to focus for accessibility. That's focus when you select, kind of does the same thing. And then I know Hans, I think at the last minute, added a nice touch where the input wasn't clearing, and now it does. Is that what you added at the end, Hans? Nice touch.
Yeah, because I was on my phone and it wasn't clearing, and I was like, oh my God. So I did it for me.
It was a nice addition.
Yeah.
But yeah, we kept a lot of it still in the CSS because this had some complicated CSS. And yeah, I think we did the button in styled components. So, and we were all very anti-right angles, so everything's nice and rounded, nothing too harsh.
looks great. Looks really, really great.
I wish I could take credit. I helped with some of the functionality stuff, but yeah, I'm not much, don't have an eye for much of this stuff. So they really dragged me across the finish line here. So I appreciate y'all for that.
We're all a part of it. And we did try to do the highlight color with the color on the list, but that was getting very complicated. We tried for a minute and then we were like, okay, it's just gonna be the one. If that makes sense. But yeah.
Nice.
Okay, I'll show our last page. So this is our About Us. And I'll do Hans today since you saw Jess's last time. And then Hans did add the thing so it'll open a new links, which is the target blank and new tab. I mean, I'll say things correctly. And then I did do it in a CSS page because I was one of the people that did not know what style components were. So Hans and Clay taught us about that. And then Jess did fix it because this was not working how I had it. So she fixed the media queries so it would resize correctly. And the links are working now. So yeah, that's the app.
Looks so good. I want to know how did y'all come up with your animation or your cartoons, the images there?
That was all Steph.
I picked up.
Yeah, but I think it's so cute. I love it. I think they're perfect. Like, we haven't known each other very long, but I think that I don't know, it feels like all of us. It's very sweet.
I like the coding superpowers. But those are really a really nice touch.
Yeah, I thought like as a team, we all brought like definitely different strengths, but I think it helped us as a team a lot.
Well, the application looks great. It works great. Really wonderful, wonderful job. I'm super excited with how this turned out.
Me too. Thank you. I'm sending it to all my friends to use it.
But you have to add the two mentors and be like the actual superheroes.
Well, one thing I will point out is that at the end, we were very, very hands off, and I loved how y'all were able to come together and really just kind of own it and own all of the code. And this is really all yours. Yeah, really great work.
Yeah, I mean, it is beautiful, and it really shows the power of styling. Because a lot of this functionality, 95% of this functionality was there, but it just didn't really feel like an app until you added those finishing touches this week, and it really looks like something that could just be in the app store and you pick up, and it's your great supermarket list app. So really excited about that. And then also, I did notice a lot of activity at the end of the week. So, congratulations to you for, pushing through and giving us something finished and polished.
Thank you. I know, I'm really proud of all of us. I think we did so good.
Totally. Okay, should we jump into our very final retro? Yeah? Cool. So let me find the thingy real quick. So this is the retro board. And let me grab my phone real quick, one second. Okay, so we're going to take it's like a minute and a half sound on each of our board or each of our swim lanes. And as you can see there, the last one is a little bit different. Just we can talk a little bit about what's next for us. So let's start off first with the appreciations one, and the timer is starting now. So I'm making the split decision to double our time. Yeah, because I need it. Okay. Okay, how are we feeling? Good, yeah. Okay, cool. And I will share my screen for the first swim lane. And I'll start. I'm up at the top. Yeah. So Zenzi, you've been absolutely amazing. I couldn't have asked for a better co-mentor, and you added so much to every meeting, conversation, interaction. And I felt a lot of trust that you were extremely dependable, which is something that's very, very valuable and difficult to find. And I always knew that you would do a stellar job, and you've been great. Thank you so much. To all Collabbies, really, really, really did a great job. I really appreciated how self-sufficient and self-organizing you came to be towards the end. And also that I was super grateful for how supportive you were of each other and of us mentors. And so I really just appreciate y'all. You have been amazing. Thank you so much. And Cole.
I just put down that I appreciate all of you for creating this atmosphere of acceptance and growth. It really was not like any other experience, like learning that I've had. I mean, it was just completely safe and supportive and helpful, and it is just really awesome. So thank you all. Thank you to the mentors and the collab, the fellow teammates, for guidance and support. I learned so much from each of you. This week in particular, I want to thank the team for pulling me over the finish line. My mind was kind of mush at the time, and they did such a great job of styling. I wish I could have been more present and helpful with that. So.
Wonderful. Thank you for that, Cole.
Yeah, so I guess next, I just wanted to say if TCL had a superpower, it's just creating these really strong teams. And I just feel lucky to have my first mentoring experience here with Mike, who's just been a wealth of knowledge on the engineering team lead and management side. So I'm just happy to get a peek into the value that he's bringing to his team every day. And this particular group of developers who were just, all of you are outstanding, and you brought value to every part of this project. And I'm just so incredibly honored to have spent this time with you and gotten to know you.
Awesome. Thank you, Sensi. Jess.
Yeah, I said that I appreciate how kind, flexible, and talented all of my teammates were. I felt safe talking with all of you and figuring all this stuff out. And we all kind of had like our different talents, and it was awesome to see how we kind of figured it out and worked together. And then I said, I also appreciate our mentors because you guys guided us and helped us. But you also allowed us to like explore and kind of like, you know, do our thing. So it was like an amazing safe space to learn. So I learned a lot. So yeah, just a big thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jess. And Hans.
Yeah, so yeah, I really I knew that this was going to be good, but I really feel like a completely more prepared for like coding in general. And I appreciate, you know, what everyone has said, like just the open communication and the support of the teammates. And I love seeing how, I mean, we're all so smart and talented in so many ways, and seeing our different strengths come together throughout the weeks, I think was really cool. Um, and then so thank you to everyone and the mentors. And Mike, I love like you're very good about like communicating and being very articulate about everything, and you read us a book, which was really nice on Friday. And then Zinzi, you asked so many amazing questions that I would not think about, and I think that that is just shows how important it is to have, like, we're all so different in this group, but like that's what makes it the best. Like without asking those questions, I don't know, I just, it's very appreciative, and it makes me excited about working on a team. And so yeah, I don't know, I feel great. So thank you so much. All right, Steph.
Wonderful. Thanks, Hans. And Steph.
Okay, I'm going to reiterate what everybody else said. I said how well we trust each other this whole process, and how well we communicated on the team. Because even if like a ticket took a little longer, we all like trusted each other that it would be done by the time it needed to be done. And nobody was like, you got to get this done right this second. Like there's none of that. It was like, we trust you, you'll get it done. To the mentors, thank you so much for your support and encouragement. Collab always felt like a safe learning environment. So thank you for that. I was never like afraid to ask anything. I appreciate that.
Oh, so great. Wonderful. So now we've talked about appreciations. Let's do 3 minutes to add some cards onto the what went well. Right. And the timer is starting now. Okay, we all good? Yeah? All right, I'm going to share my screen and we are going to do it now in the opposite order. So we're going to start with Steph. And
Okay.
maybe do I need to do a refresh here? Yeah, oh, there's more. And I'm gonna, sorry, let me group them real quick. Oh, I just like delete one and then, hang on. Sorry, I have a bunch here. Okay, Steph, you're up.
Okay, I just have one, but it's long. Collaboration, communication, organization, and reliability. Everyone showed up for this project every day. Like, I felt like everybody was like, knew what needed to get done and felt compelled to get it done on their own. We didn't like really have to like be like, can you show up today? It was just like everybody did every day. So that was great. And then I put communication improved over the course of Collab, which would be great in future teams. I do think that improved like quite a bit over the 8 weeks. So that was a good skill to get better at. And then to the mentors, your straightforward advice helped us not get lost in the weeds. And your questions helped us consider things we hadn't previously considered. Thank you for helping us grow in this aspect. Because it's easy like to just not think about stuff when you're thinking about the app and it's like, oh, I forgot to think about that one thing. And it's like, yeah. So now it's just like, remember all of it kind of thing. So thank you.
Yeah, really great. Cool. So I think next, if we go reverse order with Hans, right? Is that right? No?
Yes, I think.
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the communication and competence and empathy, I think all of us showed. And then over the 8 weeks, I can speak for myself, of course, of how I know I got better, but I think everyone, each week with a different person, like I could see everyone getting better. And that goes along with like knowing each other more, but also feeling more confident. Like screen sharing is a huge anxiety, I know, for all of us, right? And I think that I know I got better and I think everyone got better with it. And even talking about the code, which has helped me in like real life interviews, how I can, because it's so easy to be silent typing, but this helped me really like communicate what I'm doing, even if it's not like the right jargon, I still was talking. And I think everyone got really good at that. Like I never felt lost with anyone. And yeah, like Steph said, it's like we all showed up, and there were times that we were working asynchronously, but the communication was there. And that was, I don't know, I think it all went really well. And the app works and it looks really good. So I think that it's, yeah.
Nice. Awesome. And I love how the in the app works and it looks really good is like the icing on the cake there. That's wonderful. Yeah. Jess, go to you next.
Sure. So mine is kind of repeating what you guys have said, but I said that communication went very well the last couple of weeks, where we had like a lot less structure. But I feel like we worked together, and then it kind of happened where like we got things done. So like if someone noticed something, maybe we wouldn't like do a whole programming session to fix it, but like we would go in and fix it and communicate to the team what we were doing, so that everyone knew what was going on. But we had that trust that like, hey, we're all going to catch things and we're going to make it great. And so that was really nice to see. And then I feel like, we grew as dev teammates. Like, I feel like we're more prepared to be on a dev team now, like communicating, like what we're doing, talking about our code, and also being more vulnerable about what our like strengths and limitations are. So being able to say like, hey, that's not my thing. Like, if you know more, maybe you should help with that, or vice versa. Like, I really know a lot about this thing. Like, I don't mind taking it up a little bit more. So I just think we're a lot better off after doing this program. So thank you.
Great, awesome. And I know we said we were doing full reverse order, but we're gonna just go in the order of the cards here now. So cool. And thank you, Jess. Thank you very much.
I think the biggest thing is just, it all came together, and through all your guidance, of the mentors in the program. It's just kind of like each week we improved a little bit, and it just kind of built on each other and snowballed. We could see each other. I could see everybody at least getting better with communication and efficiencies each week. A lot of that was because we grew to trust each other, and we felt comfortable with you all as mentors. We knew we could ask you whatever we needed, and we also knew that you guys were directing us in the right path. So, and yeah, that's something as I've experienced from working for the last 3 weeks. Is so much of this is exactly what mirrors what we're doing as a team and the agile team that I'm in right now. So, yeah, so much of it is exactly what we're doing. This is a great experience. I can't recommend it highly enough.
Awesome. Great. Thank you, Cole. And Sensi.
Let's see here. I've actually lost my somehow. Okay, here we go. Oh, yeah, just the collaboration between everyone seemed so natural from the beginning. So that was really, really wonderful because it felt like you'd all worked together before in some way. And the communication outwardly improved steadily each week. And I just felt confident that all the acceptance criteria were going to be met and that the work was going to be done to the program standard and beyond, always and consistently, and that you were going to try your best to troubleshoot anything and look for any holes in logic before we could even ask. So that was really wonderful because it really built my confidence in you as developers, and my expectations were just consistently met. I was really happy. Yes.
Great. Thank you, Sensi. And I broke mine up into a few cards. So first, the app looks great and works amazingly well. So wonderful there. I feel like everyone was extremely level-headed and had a really good perspective on what the app in this program is and is not. And I can see that just in how the cards that everyone's been talking about for what went well, that it's at the end is like, yeah, and then the app works. But like, ultimately, we're not here to make like a shopping list app that everyone uses. But it's more about the teamwork and the experience. So I feel like everyone had a great perspective on that. Also, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but I feel like at least towards the end, people weren't feeling burned out or going way over 5 hours a week. At least that was the kind of impression that I got. And then I feel like the team was able to create a safe space where different ideas were welcomed and people could speak honestly, critically, and graciously. So really feel like this was a success. Really great work. Yeah. Cool. And you can hear my wife practicing clarinet in the background. Oh, can enjoy that. Okay, so let's jump on to the last one, 3 minutes to talk about what is next for you. And I'll start the time right now. Okay, we all ready? Yeah, cool. And if anyone's curious, the song in the background is called Amapola from Once Upon a Time in America. It's a great song. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was looking up to share it if y'all are interested. Here, I'll share the link. Copy link address. Wonderful song. Anyways, so I'll start. Yay. I will be probably taking a term or two off of Collab Lab. I usually do like one on, one or two off kind of thing. I'm also super excited to focus on Zapier has a new program which Andrew, who started the Collab Lab, was very instrumental in getting into Zapier, and Stacy has a big role in it as well. That's the Zapier's path into engineering, and so I'm going to be a mentor in that, and it is for people in different parts of the org, usually support who want to move into engineering. And it's actually very similar to the Collab Lab in that they build an application that happens to be more Zapier focused. So super excited about that. That'll be really fun. Also gonna continue running the monthly Collab Lab Tech Talks. And I'm throwing around an idea for one that just came to me the other day that's about Scrum or Agile methodologies and Judaism, and how to become a Scrum rabbi is what I'm thinking it would be called. Yeah, and then upcoming trips, going to Colombia in November. That'll be fun. And then spend most of December in Peru. Also, my wife and I are thinking about going to Mexico, and we'll also be going to Chicago. So yeah, it'll be fun. And let's just go down the list. Hans.
Yeah, so I am hoping for a job. I had a final interview Friday, and then I have one Tuesday with another company. So I'm hoping that they'll both offer me, and I'll have to make a decision based on them, but we'll see. But that's what I keep interviewing, and I think I'm learning more about what I need to practice and get better at with interviewing specifically, especially like more, I think I do a lot of static stuff. So it's better to learn like the interactive part of coding. I don't know if I said any of that right, but like API calls and the inputs and everything like that, and learning just what is still practice too. Anyway, so that a lot, I want to do more meetups now that they're actually happening again. So I plan on going to one this week and just meeting cool other techies in Brooklyn. And then the beach, I'm just excited for the summer. So hopefully going to the beach a lot. And yeah, but I would love a job. I think that is the first. It is not, it's hard to go anywhere in New York and not spend money. Even if you're going on a walk, you will spend $10 and not mean to. So it's hard to do that with no job. I need to buy some ice cream on the street. So hopefully I'll have updates for you guys soon about that.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Cole.
The first thing I'm going to do is buy a standing desk. I can't sit this long. It's killing me. Does anybody have one that they recommend?
I used to have one, and then I went to sitting because I found that standing desks were hurting my back. But I forgot the name of it. I'll look in my like Amazon orders and try to find it, because I liked it and it wasn't super expensive. My wife has like an ultra fancy one that her company bought her that's like one of those, goes like has a motor and stuff, and I think those are overkill. I'll try to find one to recommend.
Aside from that, I'm in Career Lab, so that's the next thing on my list. Complete that, continue to make the most of the learning experiences at my job. And beyond those two things, I'll try to find time to work on the tech I enjoy more. Hopefully find some opportunities to continue collaborating with people, and maybe try to find a good open source or worthy cause to try to contribute to with my skills.
Awesome. I love that. And Jess, what's next for you?
Yeah, so I also have Career Lab. I would like to make a portfolio site, continue working on my projects, like, and start up other projects to like learn things. A friend asked me to make a website for her in Squarespace, so I'll be working on that. Technical writing, I did a workshop before Collab Lab, and I really liked it. So I'm gonna keep working on that because I feel like I like doing it, and since a lot of people don't seem to like documentation and all that stuff, I figure it can't hurt to keep that going. And starting the job search. I have a couple of interviews this week and getting close to the summer. I have a few weeks left, so then I'll be really going hardcore. But yeah, that's my plans.
Awesome. Cool. And Zenzi.
I'll be seeing some of you in Career Lab, those of you who are going. I'll be giving the company culture fit interviews, and I'll be giving a presentation on the same subject later in the summer with the Portland Junior Devs, which sometimes they share mailing lists and stuff with Collab Lab. So hopefully I'll see some of you there or friends of yours who might still want some pointers on that. And that's about it.
Cool. And Steph.
Okay, as I said, the Career Lab, continuing the job search, edit some styling on my portfolio site. It's like done if you're on mobile. But on desktop, it looks like it's supposed to be on mobile. Thinking about starting a blog to reiterate the fundamentals and possibly help me prepare for interviewing, because I'm much better at building than talking about what I'm building. So I thought that might be helpful for that. And participating in more meetups and coffee chats and keeping up my tech Twitter.
Awesome. Wonderful. I'm very excited about where everyone's going to be up to. Keep in mind that just because this is ending, your relationship with the Collab Lab doesn't have to end here. So can stay active within the Slack and also be mentors. Zenzi can attest to that. And I think that we can all say that Zenzi was a wonderful mentor. So I think that y'all will make great mentors in the future. Before we go anywhere, I forgot to take a screenshot of y'all giving presentations with the app, which I would like to get. And I would also like to get a group screenshot of everyone just in kind of gallery view. So let's do that first. Yeah. Okay. This 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's all of us, right? Yeah. Okay. Hang on. Let me capture selected portion. Okay. So everyone, just doing normal smiling. Wait, that's my smile. Hold on. Okay, now let's do a crazy one real quick. All right. I don't know, crazy faces. I don't know why we all went like that. Okay, and then can someone share the app and pretend like you're doing the presentation? Someone share a screen.
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Get it open. Okay. I think I have to reopen it. Ooh. I'm not as fast. I exited. Open.
You can go to the link.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, I forgot. You're so smart. Okay. I don't know this is a good one. This has a lot. Well, the About Us is good. It does have one. What do you want?
Maybe the pretty list. I'm just kidding.
It's so pretty. The pretty list. I could do a pretty list.
I'm just
What do you
kidding.
want to see? Let me get my face out of here.
Well, I've been taking like a bunch already. So
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, visit all of them.
Yes.
boom. Yeah. Cool. I think we got some good ones. Awesome. Well, thank you all so much. This has been super great. Post in like the TCL-41 how the job search is going, and would love to hear from y'all. And then also just in general, stay connected in Slack. If you ever need absolutely anything, need references or anything like that, feel free to reach out or have employers reach out to me. And then I'll try to be adding recommendations in LinkedIn. Sometimes I'm a little slow at that, and I'm not going to do them all like at one at a, or I'll do them one at a time. So don't get offended if I give one to like Jess, but I haven't gotten the staff yet or anything like that, because it'll okay. Anyways, thank you. You all have been wonderful.
Thank you so much. This has been amazing.
Thank you. I'm glad we got to work with both of you and all of you, Cole and Jess and Hans. I'm glad I got to work all together.
Likewise.
It was amazing. We'll see you on the Slack.
Yeah.
On the Twitter.
Cool.
Sure.
All right.
Happy Sunday.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.